Hey, it's Nandeep Chinda from Hockey Night in Canada, Punjabi, and I'm joined by a very special guest, Calgary Flames forward, Nazem Kadri. And Nazem, I want to ask you one thing. As a second-generation Canadian myself, my parents pronounce my name one way, and outside the house, it's pronounced a different way. How do your parents pronounce your name?
Usually everyone just calls me Nas, really. I mean, for short form, unless I'm in a lot of trouble, then my mom calls me Nazem. So usually I try to stay away from that. But yeah, everyone just kind of calls me by my nickname, and that's how I prefer to be called.
Got it. All right. And, that's kind of one thing we can all relate on, especially if, we come from a family of immigrants. There's sometimes the name is said a little differently, and that's the beauty of Canada as well. What I do want to ask you about, family is important. You mentioned community is important to you as well. And we look back at when you took the Stanley Cup to the London Mosque, you had a donation for the London Health Services in your community. How important is it to give back to the community for you?
Very much so. I feel an obligation, and I'm very proud to be able to even be put in that situation to help out a lot of people that kind of I've been helped with throughout my career. So like I mentioned, I mean, that was always one thing I told myself, if I ever made it, I'd try to help and drag as many people along with me as I could, and I'm very, very fortunate to be able to do that.
You're the fourth player of Lebanese background to play in the NHL, which is a pretty special thing, I know, for your community. When you look around the community, when you look at little kids looking up to you, and you're a role model for adults and kids, what does that mean to you, and how seriously do you take that?
Yeah, it's humbling. I take it very serious, sometimes a little too serious. I mean, of course, I have my imperfections as well, but you try to be as great of a role model as you possibly can. It can be tough sometimes being in the spotlight 24/7, and obviously playing a pretty emotional and intense game. But yeah, I take a lot of pride in that, and I've had a lot of people tell me that. So I guess I gotta just keep trying to be me.
The Flames have a special night coming up here, South Asian Celebration Night. You're a part of the Hockey Diversity Alliance, and inclusion in the game. It's something that, luckily, across the league, after some hard work, we're seeing a lot more of these nights. What does a night like that mean for you, where it doesn't matter what your background is, you come together to celebrate hockey with fan bases from all communities?
Right. I mean, that's I think we got a long road ahead of us, but at least it's nice to see us moving in the right direction, and obviously just kids having somebody to like you mentioned, look up to, and it always, you can relate a little bit better, and I think you always want to tune into the game a little bit more if you see somebody that looks familiar and has the same colored skin, or similar backgrounds or ethnicities. So at this point, I think hockey's become a lot more diverse, and thankfully we have a lot of people leading the charge in that direction, and helping that get that done.
Well, thank you very much for joining us on Hockey Night in Canada, Punjabi. This is the second time you've been on the show, so I really appreciate it, and best of luck for the rest of the year.
All right, appreciate it.